buddy. Man, these some guys can fight. Oh yeah, he's a good one. Man, on a drop shot. What's going on, guys? This is Gene Jensen. Since I'm catching them on a drop shot out of the bushes in deep water, I'm gonna tell you how I'm doing it. It's a tough bite today, but man, that's a good fish. Look how fat and healthy they are. They're just not in the mood. Just a really, really soft bite. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so let me tell you, explain to you the situation I'm in. We're almost at the fall transition on this lake. I've never fished this lake before. To be honest with you, the first time I fished it was yesterday afternoon. But I've been spending all day idling around and trying to find life and everything else. But I just knew the bite was off. Clouds just moved in. It's been a bluebird skies all day. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I found this little secondary point, and it's got rocks and wood and all kinds of stuff. But the issue I have right now is this is a fairly new lake. It's called Hard Labor Creek Reservoir in Georgia, and it's only been open for about a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years. And yeah, it took so long for it to fill up that the entire bank is lined all the way up to 14, 15 feet deep. It's lined with these trees, and they're just like baby pine trees is what they are, and they're a pain in the butt to fish. Absolute pain. It's hard to flip them because, I mean, I'd flip them, but you get hung up a lot. You get hung up in them, you get hung up over top of them. You can't cast and wind all the way up to the bank. And so I'm forced to try different things, and with the bite being off like it is, and it's just that they're just not biting, I went finessey. Could have done a Ned rig, maybe a weedless Ned rig, but they still get hung up a lot. So let me show you what I did on a medium light action rod. This is a 6'9", I believe, 6'10", medium light action rod. I've got 20-pound test braid main line. I've got about an 8-foot fluorocarbon leader. This is actually 10 pound, yeah, this is 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, and this is a Brazex. It's key, it's Cigar Brazex. It's key to have a line that is abrasion resistant, or as abrasion resistant as you can get, because we're literally drop shotting into the deep sticks and the deep wood, and there's a key way that you rig this drop shot rig to get it to do it. Okay, so I've got an 8-foot fluorocarbon leader. It's tied with an FG knot, like I always tie. And I'll leave the description on how to, or the link right up here on how to tie that knot. But and most drop shots, most of you guys have seen drop shots, or if you haven't, basically what a drop shot is, you've got the hook, and below the hook on a line, on a drop line, is your sinker. So when the sinker hits the bottom, your bait is above the bottom, and you can make this as short and as long as you want to. I like to start at about 18 inches and get shorter or longer if I need to, but 18 inches is usually where I start. And key to being able to fish it in the bushes is you fish it with one of these hooks right here. This is I'm not sponsored by them, Gamakatsu G Finesse hook. That's the brand of it. I'm not exactly sure which hook this is, but it's a straight shank worm hook. It's either a number 1 or a 1/0, and it's got a little tin bait keeper right here. And the way you rig this worm to make so where it won't get hung up as easy, it can get hung up. I've only been hung up once today, but you rig it just like this. Basically, when you're done, let me show you what the, before I do that, let me just show you what the hook's kind of gonna look like when you're done. It's gonna go in the top of the worm, of course, and then it's gonna be just like that. I don't know if you guys can see it. My hands are all up in the way. That was almost impossible to do, so I'll just go ahead and do it. Show it to you. Put the point of the hook in a little bit and then come out at an angle. Okay, you see how that's angled just like this? Rotate that hook as you're pulling it through. Get that keeper outside the worm and kind of tuck it back up in there, and look at where that hook's gonna want to go. Gonna want to go in right there, and then you turn the hook. And you do not want the tip of the hook to be exposed, or you want to be able to rub it right here without feeling the tip. But if you give any pressure, you want to be able to feel the tip of that hook. Okay, and that is that. Drop down at the bottom. I use about a 1/4 to a 3/8 ounce weight. This is a 1/4 ounce. And another key thing is the cylinder. Cylinder weights go in and out of that wood really easy. Another good one would be like the quick drop teardrop weights, but these cylinder ones are just tend to not get hung up nearly as much. And all I'm doing is just making a little bit of cast and working it very slowly through that timber, you know, 13, 14 feet deep. Just letting it fall down to the bottom. Just letting it fall down to the bottom. And these fish are in such a funk that I'm working it super slow. I'm talking 3-4 minutes a cast. You know, when I feel like I'm outside of the treetops or outside of the bushes, I'm gonna call them bushes, I reel it in. My boat right now is anchored in 22 feet of water. And the bass are 15, you know, 10 to 15 feet deep in these bushes. And they really don't want it moved much. Now, what I typically would do if they were a little bit more active is I'd get it down to the bottom, I'd drop my line to a slack line with about this much line laying on the surface of the water, and I just shake it with that line on the water. I want to shake it on a slack line. And what that does is it allows that worm to relax down, you know, relax a little bit, and then the shaking of the line just gets that worm to twitch, just gives it the maximum amount of action. But these fish, I twitch it, you know, every 5 or 6 seconds just because they're in a funk. I want them to see it, but I want them to see it as an easy meal. They're not biting hard. They just kind of, you kind of start to feel their weight, and that's it. It's crazy how turned off they are. Now, in a couple of weeks after when the transition starts, when the fall transition starts, the water temperatures start to drop. They'll move up shallow. It'll be a whole lot better. Be a better bite. I'll be able to move a little bit faster. But right now, it's just funky, dude. It's just they don't want to be here. They don't want to eat. They just kind of want to sit and wait as well as I do. I'd rather be sitting on the couch right now. But water temperature is 83 degrees. It's a little too warm for them right now. Now with this, don't be afraid to cast it. You know, most drop shots, or the traditional way of fishing a drop shot, is directly under the boat. Don't be afraid to, you know, cast it out a little bit. It's not going to get hung as easy, so it'll go down and go into that timber. I'm just going to kind of hold it still, shake it just a little bit. And you'll feel your bait coming up, you know, with a good sensitive rod, you'll feel your bait coming up the stick or up the bush. And if you find yourself getting hung up a little bit, you know, as you're slowly dragging it, don't be afraid to drop to a slack line just a little bit and give it a quick little double pop or a single pop, and it'll pop up over top of that stick. Now, the types of soft plastics that you can do this are pretty infinite. I mean, you can do it with any type of a soft plastic. I'm just, with the mood that they're in, and with, you know, there's not a lot of giant fish in this lake. There are some good ones, though. But I chose the little Zoom finesse worm. I want a little bit of flash. It's a sunny day. I'm hoping the sun, you know, penetrates that deep. If not, no big deal. It's a green pumpkin magic is the color. But it's also a confidence color of mine. Slowly work it through there. And what you're feeling for, if you're feeling for something to pull back, I mean, because as you're pulling and getting hung in these, you know, rubbing up against these sticks and stuff, it's going to feel like you got bit. But hold your rod still, and if it pulls back, it's going to be a fish. you know, and the hard part's getting them out, you know, but I don't worry about getting hung up when I'm after I've hooked the fish. The goal is to get hooked and then worry about, you know, or hook the fish and then worry about how you're going to get him out. So I lost one yesterday. It was on a regular Texas rig worm, but I lost him in the bushes. And you do it. They break off and they swim off. So, all right, so when choosing soft plastics, consider the size of the hook. This is about the maximum size hook that I'll use for a finesse worm. If you go any bigger, you kill the action of that finesse worm. And so, really, you know, the smallest one you can get, you feel like you can get away with, the better. You just don't want a soft plastic that's so fat that it won't, it won't collapse and won't go, you know, let's see if I can try to explain this. You don't want one so fat that if the bass bites, it fills the entire gap. It fills that whole area in between the tip of the hook and the shank of the hook. You just want, you want it just to get out of the way so you can hook that fish pretty good. Now on your traditional drop shot, when you have an exposed hook, the way I teach it, a hook set is just to start lifting your rod and reeling, and you reel into that fish and the hook will penetrate into the top of the roof of the fish's mouth. This one, because you have the hook buried in the worm, you have to set it. You have to drop down and give it a good pop set and then start reeling. Plus you want to turn that fish's head and get him out of the bushes as much as you can. But this is a good way to fish grass. It's a good way to fish any kind of thick cover where you're a typical open hook drop shot will get hung up. And great finessey way of catching fish. I don't really expect to get too many bites today just because of the mood that the fish seem to be in. But I'm gonna bust my tail trying to get, you know, at least 1 or 2 more bites today. Fall can't get here fast enough. Oh, there's a bite. I gotta get him out of the trees. This is when, oh crud, maybe not. So I'm hung up or he's got me wrapped in a bush, and I'm just keeping tension, and I'm letting him fight, and hopefully that Abrazex does its job until I can pull tension enough to get him out of this bush. Now, I may or may not be able to. He feels like a dang good fish. Come on, fish. Ah, he popped off. What in the world? Huh. It wasn't a tree, it was a vine, an old grapevine. I know that from this little curlicue. Little grapevine. Check my line real good, check for nicks, don't see any. I'm telling you guys, that's Cigar Abrazex is awesome stuff. But let's get back down in there, see if I can catch another one. I need a new worm. It was an old muscadine vine. Son of a gun. Another little trick. Keep your worms cool. Don't leave them out in the sun. They get real too soft and it makes the hook, makes it too easy for the hook to penetrate, and it'll come out and you'll get hung up quite a bit until it cools back down. Unless the water temperature is cold, then it'll cool your worm down pretty quick, but right now it's not. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. It came out. Oh, an acrobat. Oh, that's my worm. Wish I would do that. A little bitty one.